There's kind of an interesting screenshot floating around right now that's reportedly talking about the players, the active players on FC24. The fact that it's much lower this year than last year. And we'll talk about that today. And also, one of the biggest compensations ever is happening. Once again, by the way, another fuck up from EA is turning into a giant compensation. And we'll talk about that if the reports are true, which EA tweeted out that this will be a thing. But if what they meant when they tweeted it out is going to happen, then yeah, I mean, buckle up. A couple leaks and some player of the month nominees as well once again here. Yeah, subscribe if you're new. Thank you for the comments in the last video, by the way, and watching throughout this game cycle. That's just been a pretty much a shit show. Let's not get it fucked up. It's been kind of a shit show. And also for this video, the 88 plus Thunderstruck Winter Wildcards Team of the Year icon pick refreshed once again, and I will not be opening it in this video because I can't do it to myself anymore. I'm subjecting myself to torture by putting in 700Ks worth of fodder every time. And unfortunately, I'm not Batesum, so I just don't have unlimited fodder coming out of my ass. So yeah, anyway, random side note. We have got some interesting content so far during the second Team of FUT birthday. If you guys want to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. The link is in the description. Use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. We got a Chouameni SBC who, I mean, the card itself looks ridiculous. 6'2", medium high, 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. The card is insane. This is a team of the season level card, maybe just under TOTS level with 2 playstyle pluses. He's got great playstyles as well. The problem is not going to be whether the card's going to be good or not. The problem is the price. He's 10 squads, he's 1.7 million. So if you have any decent DM, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you have no DM, you know, he's going to be great for you. 1.7 mil is pretty crazy. We got 2 versions of Sakina Karchawi. They both look great as well. They're pretty expensive again there. 89, 88, 87, 86, 87. I mean, it's pretty expensive for both versions, but once again, she's going to be very good. It's just the question of, do you need the card or not? But then, you know, I was happy to see today the cups came back. We got an Ultimate Birthday Cup, guys. Where the hell is it? Right here. Ultimate Birthday Cup. Expires in 6 days. You got to play 10 for some XP. You got to win 2 for some XP. It's really nice rewards. Only winning 10 games. So it's not really one that's going to be repeatable a bunch of times, but you can get some nice packs here. And of course, though, for whatever fucking reason that I can't even begin to understand why is a thing. I mean, I get it because they want you locking on every day, but just in terms of any other reason at all other than go fuck yourself, there's no other reason to have match limits once again. Now keep in mind, 10 matches a day and it refreshes for 7 days. Like, you have 70 matches to win 10 games. It is really good in that sense because the match limits don't really like mean that much, but they do if you only have like 2 days to do it. I'm just so over this. If you're gonna make it like this anyway, then don't even add them in the first place. It's more the premise of it rather than like the actual match limit for this friendly cup itself. I mean, I'm just tired of seeing it. It's one of the stupidest things in FIFA ever, in any game mode. I'm so over seeing match limits. All right, the first thing we're gonna talk about is the title of this video today. And that is, I got sent this tweet by Michael Zidane saying, topic for the next upcoming video, maybe. This tweet was kind of going viral, 1.7 million views, right? It says, breaking, EA loses 60% of its players. And there's kind of this graph comparing 2023 and 2024 here that show, whatever these numbers mean, a big drop off between the two, right? And the rumors going around was saying, hey, it looks like there's way less players this year. When you look at this graph, people thought it was like active players, 2 million or so active players every day for like the month of March last year. This year, it's only 800,000. What actually is the case here, if you dig a little bit deeper, all this is here is a graph from FUTBin that shows the number of matches played and number of transfers between cards in the game. So instead, what this graph is actually showing here is it is showing a drop off in some areas, just not in like active player count. This isn't sort of mined from EA somehow. This is basically just taken straight from FUTBin that shows there are less matches being played this year and less transfers in general this year than there were last year. And that's kind of what this whole thing shows rather than less players. And there could even be an underlying reason here. I looked into what the reasons for this could be on FUTBin's end, and I didn't really see one. I didn't know if they stopped tracking things this year as much as they did last year. I couldn't find anything about that. So my guess is it basically just shows you that there are less matches this year and less transfers happening than there were last year at this exact time. So what do you guys think about this? This kind of, if this is not a FUTBin issue, it does still show there are a lot less matches being played this year and less transfers in general as well. So it does still kind of point towards a drop of the player base, at least specifically player base that plays games. But what what data can we really take from this? I guess you be the judge and tell me in the comments what you kind of think this points to, I guess. Because to me, it does point towards there being less players, right? I think everybody kind of knows that this year the game is a lot less alive than it was last year at this time. I think the game was pretty alive almost all the way until July last year. I mean, we got lucky with how nice the gameplay was last year. This year it's not the case. But let's get into this compensation, because this is what we thought might happen, and it's, well, let's read the tweet. Earlier this week, the Fantasy FC hero Schneider, it also happened with him, I didn't even realize that, and Yaya Toure player items had incorrect leagues. The items have been since updated, and players who obtained them while the incorrect leagues were listed will be sent their coins back in the coming days. So that means, you know, if what happens with this tweet is exactly what's going to happen in game, if you bought Yaya Toure at all, while the incorrect league was still listed on the card, you will be sent your coins back to you, which that then would, I guess, suggest if you bought and sold him 20 times, they would send you your coins back every time you bought him. You would then get, you know, 60 mil. I think there's a couple traders down here who were like, yeah, give me my 80 mil. Like, he sold him that many times to, you know, try and get that compensation. And Bateson gets a smirk emoji as if the man needs more fucking coins. Sorry, Bateson, I'm just a little salty. But yeah, it seems like to me, we're going to be seeing a massive amount of compensation, and at least it's going to be one payment of the Yaya Toure price, right? So 3 million coins. All these people who bought this card are at least getting one payment, one small loan of 3 million coins, one payment of 3 million coins. And if it happens where you bought and sold them a bunch of times, you get 60 mil. Congratulations. But yeah, this is confirmed. What is there to do about it besides just sit back and say, damn, this shit just can't get worse this year? I don't know what to say. But then again, we didn't think it could get worse until Team of the Year Messi came out of 3% of Ultimate Team players' packs, which is an insane amount. Also, Player of the Month Vinny update here. You know, this is the goal contribution like leaderboard that these nominees have, right? So Zorloth has the most with 5, but Vinny has 4, Lewa has 4. There's a chance it could be Vinny winning this, and the card would look like this. It would be very, very good. So we need to keep an eye out for a possible Vinicius winner of the Player of the Month if he does win it, because we could see some market adverse effects off of a very good SBC like that. And then we got news that the upcoming Casino SBC should be a hero pick, and we're going to have fantasy versions included. So the best versions of heroes are going to be included in this next batch of basically gamble packs or gamble picks, whatever it's going to be. He doesn't even say if it's a pick or a pack. He just says the fantasy versions are going to be included, which I guess is nice if you're a person who does a lot of them. But then we get another tweet from EA that showed out the SBCs that we're going to get for the rest of Flop Birthday Team 2, and the leaks did not come out once again until a couple hours before content, which shows me that if this continues into the next promo, that's going to be it. There will definitely be no more, and Leaks Twitter will be scrambling. That sweet, sweet Elon paycheck might just vanish into thin air. Let's have a look. Karchawi, twin SBCs today, or yesterday, sorry. Haji will be today, which is kind of interesting. I always love seeing lower icons get better cards. Reece James will be on the way on Monday. Luca Bacchio on Tuesday. Evan Ferguson, twin on Wednesday, and Leia Williamson on Thursday. But, you know, the point here, once again, we got the full leak by EA themselves before anybody else knew anything. Also, I will say icons will fit in the new Evo if you make them red. They will fit in, so you can get a 5-star Thierry Henry. I think Puskas fits in as well. There's a couple 5-star icons you can make that are pretty insane, that actually do debatably make the price tag of 250k worth it. If you can make a 5-5 Henry, it's hard to be like, is that not worth it? I don't know, you be the judge on that, but like 5-5 Puskas exists. I think Puskas and Henry are the two best ones you can make 5-5. If you make them red, and then they can fit into the evolution. And also, guys, I did say I feel like we should let the market kind of play out before you go and buy cards. And yeah, it's going down way more than even it was last week. We're like, yeah, last week, which is crazy. The Rude Hullet I bought a week ago, or sold a week ago. I believe I sold him for 2.4, and he's 1.7. That is a massive drop off. And the reason for this, I mean, we saw so many great Flop Birthday cards in this game now. Power curve is kind of moving relatively quickly right now. These cards are becoming less and less elite, even though it's still Rude Hullet. He's still 1.7 mil, but just less elite than he was. And the price for all these Flop Birthday cards are crazy because they're all so good. I mean, how many cards are above 1 million coins? And just the starting 11, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. 8 of the starting 11 above 1 million coins. But then you get a card like Gioro and Swanson, David too. Like, these cards are pretty good. Like Jonathan David's 5-star, 5-star with First Touch and Travella Plus, 2 pretty good playstyles. He's only 97k. So that's going to be taking hit to the whole striker market when a card like this is this cheap. So there's a lot of great expensive options, but also cheap options are really good as well, which will just make the market crash even worse when you have good expensive options to kind of compete, and then you also have good cheap options to compete. So it just compounds on itself. And the best time to buy these cards, I low-key might say Rivals Rewards. I think Rivals Rewards, we saw a huge impact on the market for the promo cards. I think it's like the time, I would say, I guess. Now let's read your comments, which by the way, I saw some crazy plays you guys are watching from, which is just so cool. But John says, fair not giving compensation when people bought Yaya for max price, trying to exploit a mistake and get more money for compensation and get their coin doubled. That was not something that damaged them. They damaged themselves. So for the first time, I stand by EA on this. Well, congratulations. EA once again fucked you over. I saw quite a few comments saying, like, I hope I don't give Yaya compensation because of the fact that people knew they were gonna get compensation, right? It wasn't like a mistake they made and people deserved compensation. It was like, this was a mistake they made and people took advantage of it to get, you know, the compensation out of it. And that's what happened. And that's what they're getting. They took advantage of it. They got it. And here we are today. At Gymnastics says, I like promos, but would love it if every league was represented in each promo. I'm Kermit gazing out a rainy window when there's a cool promo, but no MLS cards. And I totally agree with you. I would love to have a total variety of cards, but the truth is that's just not what they want because they don't think they're going to sell as much if they add 8 Premier League cards in compared to 2. I mean, they just don't think one promo will be as hyped up, sell more cards than the next, right? So I'm totally with you. That's kind of why I wish that Team of the Week also, you know, it's getting better now. I wish Team of the Week meant more too, and we can put those players into something because then Team of the Week's usually filled with a lot of players that are from different leagues, right? And if you can make the cards pretty decent and give us a game mode to put them into, that would kind of replace the need for like multiple leagues in these promos at least a little bit, right? Because then you wouldn't feel as bad if 7 Prem players are in Fun Birthday Team 2, because there were 2 MLS players in this Team of the Week and 2 last week, right? So I feel like that'd be a way to compromise it, but they just are going to always do whatever they think is going to sell more, and that's just the way it is. And I wish that wasn't the case, but here we are. Mark says, I've seen bigger heads. Well, that's comforting. Keep up the good work. By the way, this is the worst gameplay and meta ever for me. Worse than FIFA 19. If you play FIFA 19, if you're one of the OGs a little bit, where that's, you know, it's kind of like 5 years ago now. We were to say OG for FIFA 19, I guess that was 5 years ago now. If you played 19, is this gameplay worse than FIFA 19, or is that just us looking back on 19 a little too fondly? Because 19 was so bad, and this year is really bad too, don't get me wrong. I don't know what one's worse. I still want to say 19. I think this year is more boring. I think 19 was worse in terms of like the shit you could do was so ridiculous that made it technically worse. But I think I might rather play 19 still, if that, I know it sounds crazy. And the last one here, Lads Gaming. So on the road to the final Donnarumma, if PSG qualify for the semifinals, it says he will get a playstyle plus. So goalkeepers with playstyle pluses, question mark. We've not had a single keeper with a playstyle plus. However, go and look at Donnarumma's card here. It does say if they qualify for the final, they will get +1 playstyle plus. Now, will PSG make the Champions League final? I would say it's not likely, but I mean, apparently, yeah, Donnarumma will get a +1 playstyle plus. So maybe team of the season, we will see playstyle pluses then for keepers, or this is a mistake, and you know, I don't know. But I think that's it. Another day, another shit show on EA Sports FC 2024. I love you all. I'll see you next video very soon. Peace.